Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you my exact step-by-step process for optimizing Pinterest pins when I'm doing Pinterest account audit. I broke information down for you in small chunks, so if you're interested what is a pin design in 2021, what kind of description to write for your pin, then keep on watching. And also you can find the timestamps down in the description box below, so you can come back and watch the parts that you're interested in. If you don't know me, my name is Arina and I help growth-focused e-commerce brands to drive more sales with super targeted, highly relevant Pinterest marketing. If this is something you are interested in, then subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. This video about optimizing Pinterest pins is a last video in a 3-part series, and I will link to this playlist in the description box below. Don't forget to check it out. There is many reasons why you want to do your own Pinterest account audit or your Pinterest or optimizing your Pinterest pins. Pinterest is always changing, and maybe you need to implement new strategy, or you hit a Pinterest plateau and you're looking for new ways to attract customers and clients to your Pinterest account and to your business through Pinterest. What to look for when you are doing Pinterest pins optimization? You need to see if you can answer these questions. Are my pins ad ready? Do my pins look right? How important is branding? Can I change the size of the pins? I would recommend to experiment with different sizes of the pins. And Pinterest recommend 2 to 3 aspect ratio for their pins, which is approximately 1000 pixel to 1500 pixel, but experiment with different sizes, see which one will work better for your particular niche. Now get to the step-by-step process of optimizing pin. First, you want to check if you have rich pins enabled on your account. Here I will show you where to find this on your account. Right now Pinterest seems like Pinterest getting away from rich pins and concentrating more on advertisement and on video pins and story pins. But as a good rule of thumb, I would recommend to still enable rich pins. They still send valuable information to Pinterest and help to rank your account and your pins higher in the search engine, in the search feed. And I already talked about pin size, 2 to 3 ratio. That's what Pinterest recommend, but also you can use 1-to-1 ratio, let's say Instagram post or something like that. And video from TikTok or Instagram Reel is extremely popular right now on Pinterest and promote your account. I highly recommend to use them. Now, many people ask, should I put the branding, let's say like logo, in the corner of my pin image, or in my website name in the center of the pin? And I would recommend that. It doesn't bring you up in the Pinterest search engine, but it helps users to recognize your brand. It helps you to create brand recognition throughout the platform. It's a good rule of thumb to put your logo everywhere you advertise your account. everywhere you advertise your business, in Instagram post, in Facebook post, in Pinterest pins. It just helps to create brand awareness. With titles and text, with the text overlay for the pin, it's again depends on your niche. In some niches or niches, your picture is just a picture is enough, and in some you have to put some text so user can understand what are you trying to promote, what article is linked to this particular pin image. You don't want to confuse Pinterest. Image itself is very, very important for Pinterest. You don't want to confuse Pinterest and user with your imagery, what you are trying to show. Be clear with your product. Be clear with what your pin is about, what the content pin connected to is about. Don't use clickbait images. You can mark, your account can be marked as a spam. When you choose an image for your pin, users that come to Pinterest are in discovery and interest mode, not a research mode. So do that imagery accordingly. This is a big topic, so I will make a separate video with some very interesting case studies how Pinterest see your images and catalogs them. It's extremely interesting subject, and if you don't want to miss that video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. According to Pinterest study, help the audience visualize the product or services in their lives. Campaigns that show someone using the product or services were 67% more likely to drive offline sales lift. So now, what Pinterest recommend us to use in pin design? I will link the blog post accompanying this video, and you can find the link to the Pinterest video there. It's from 2018, but Pinterest never came up with any different recommendations than that. So let's go through them. Put your logo on your pin bottom or top middle. Don't make it huge and distracting, but make it present. Use text overlay to give more information. Text overlay should include call to action or clear information. I am showing you product image from the company ROI. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, where they use all this recommendation on their pins. So you can get the idea what I'm talking about and how to implement it for your product pins. What Pinterest says: clear title and description help pin get discovered in search. You can use up to 100 characters for your title and up to 500 characters for your description. Use clear sans serif or serif font, basic, clear, and easy to read on mobile. Avoid any cursives. Non-stock imagery doesn't better than stock imagery. If you decide to go with stock imagery, make it unique to your business. The problem with stock imagery is that they have been used many times and can be associated by Pinterest with the wrong content. Once again, I will do another video on this subject where I go more in details, do case studies on different pins, so don't forget to subscribe. Pinterest uses a visual cataloging. First, it looks at the image, converted into text, and catalog it. Also, Pinterest recommend to use a contrast for eye-catching and effectiveness. High contrast between image and background of Pinterest, which can be white or black nowadays, or contrast within a pin, so like red image on or blue background. Now, let's talk about pin description. There is many different suggestions coming from different people that use Pinterest. So I advise you to test and try your own descriptions for your own niche and see what works for you. In this video, I just will tell you what Pinterest recommend. So the description can contain 500 characters. Only 50 to 60 of these characters will show on some feeds. Depends on which mobile you watch on which mobile you open Pinterest app, or if you watch on desktop. A majority of your users will use mobile, so always check how your account and your pins look on mobile. So this 50-60 characters is very important. There is also a rumor, it's not a fact, that the first keywords that you put at the beginning of the first sentence is rank in Pinterest description of your pin higher than keywords that you would use subsequently in your pin description. So be careful and pay attention what keyword you will put at the beginning of the first sentence and what will be visible in the 50-60 first characters of your description. I experiment right now with different call to actions like click here to read, click to read more, subscribe, so something like that is the first word, and then I try to start my sentence with a keyword. It's not always make a grammatical sense, but it is a readable sentence, if you know what I mean. It's only few people will click and see the description of the pin or read it. Mostly people just see the title, which is another subject that has to have your main keyword in it. But we are talking about description right now. Then, as a general rule, Pinterest recommend to use only 1 or 2 sentences in natural language. From what I see and my tests, I would highly recommend to follow this procedure. I used to do like long description and trying to hit as many keywords in it as I humanly possibly can related to the subject in the article. But I find it just Pinterest ignores that. So there is no point to waste your time. Just 1 to 2 sentences, perfectly fine. There is also a lot of questions, different informations about the hashtag. I'll tell you my take on it as an ex-computer programmer. It seems to me like when the Pinterest started aggressively go through against spam accounts and all the not good tactics that people use on Pinterest, they made a little bit layer of program to go over to recognize which pins are fresh or not for some time last year. And they used hashtag to help them to differentiate old pin from new pins. So all pins that used hashtag would deem to be fresh, relevant, and also you can still see separate feed for them. It's not meant, it was not meant by Pinterest to use hashtag as, let's say, Instagram using it. So my take on it and my suggestion to you, use 1 to 3 hashtags. I usually put my branded hashtag in it, and the ones that I use in my profile description. Watch the video about the boards. I will link it down in the card and down below in my playlist for this 3-part series. That video number 1 about a Pinterest profile, and you can find how I wrote description for that in my recommendation. But anyway, back to hashtag, branded hashtag. Then it will be a specific hashtag. Let's say this video is my branded hashtag modern Pinterest management. Then will be specific hashtag pin optimization or Pinterest pin or something like that, and general hashtag Pinterest. Pinterest said you can put up to 20 hashtags, but now the latest recommendation from Pinterest is to ignore them completely, and if you don't use it, it's just fine. I'll put a quote. You will see, you see a quote, exact quote from the Pinterest creative website. Now, the final step into optimizing your pins to drive more traffic to your products, website, and to get more clients and customers would be to check analytics for your pins. And I do 2 ways checking analytics. I've always sold my pins by clicks, and then I looked at the most popular pins, and if I see a theme in the imagery for these pins. For me, it's a little bit hard because I constantly test things. And then you also want, and then I also check pins that other people saved to see what imagery other people like. In most situations, it would be the same images and pins, but check for your own account what if there is differentiation, then you have to pay attention to it to see what other people pin from your website and from your account is more important, right, than what is ranking, because that's what people like. Then you can use that kind of templates more often. For example, if you are recipe blog, images, let's say already cooked dish with some text overlay, that's one image pin, and then you use a pin with the steps, with photographs of the steps to do to prepare the dish, and maybe that pin is, that imagery is more popular to your reader in Pinterest, then do more of those images. Just makes sense, right? So just look for things like that. Some people report that up close image of the food or the picture of ingredients that to prepare the food was more popular with their readers. It depends on the niche, right? Like if you look at the cooking, it could be that you do homemade simple food, or you can do recipes more upscale for 5-star restaurant. I'm not a cook, I don't know what to say, the right words to use to describe this differentiation, but I hope you understand what I mean, that you will hit different targets and different photographs will resonate with your ideal audience. Now let's say you did all of that, all the steps that I described to you. You looked at the pin and their size, if they're rich pins, if you have text overlay, if you have a logo on your pins, Do you do the right description? Do you do the description at all? Do you use a pin title? And you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you find that something is missing from your pin design and you need to optimize more and you don't know where to start. I recommend that you do it slowly and step by step, one thing at a time. So imagery is very, very important. I cannot stress enough. Imagery and photograph what image is on your pin is much more important than keywords in the description, title, or text overlay on this pin. Once again, I'll create different videos, so subscribe so you don't miss that. And so you start with one step. You see that none of your pins have logo or website name on them. So you implement that, not all pins, but every pin you make from today going forward will have your logo or website name on it. So you cover that, change all your templates. Then you go on to next step, researching for keywords. In video 1 of this 3-part series, I'm talking about actually starting your whole Pinterest account and whole process of optimizing your Pinterest account by finding keywords that resonate with your targeted audience and for your strategy of promoting your business. So take your time in optimizing your Pinterest account. Don't rush it, don't do too many things at once, because your account could be marked as a spam. Yes, there is a lot of intricate and small details right now on Pinterest. It's not as simple and as it used to be in the beginning of 2020, before February. So all these changes roll out very fast and furious throughout 2020. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you do, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions about my Pinterest strategy or Pinterest in general, I'll appreciate if you leave a comment down below. And I see you soon in the next video. Bye, guys.